Right now, though, I want to welcome to the program as we continue our USA Shooting Spotlight. Very pleased to have with us Vincent Hancock. Vincent, how are you, sir? It's good talking to you again.
Good talking to you, too, Cam. I appreciate you having me on again.
Absolutely. It's great to have you here. And, you know, as we profile some of the competitors with USA Shooting, you know, you're a guy who has an incredible story. You are a two-time Olympic gold medalist. You're the first person in shotgun to win back-to-back gold medals. But I understand that after you won gold in 2008, you actually thought about quitting.
Yeah, I did. It was a pretty interesting time going between 2008 and 2012. A year after 2008, I won the World Championships, a year to the day. And then it just kind of slowly declined from there, and it all bottomed out in 2011, where I just wasn't having fun out on the range, wasn't enjoying myself, and wasn't shooting very good. So I debated retiring, but I knew that through a lot of prayer and through a lot of just planning and thinking out, that this was really what I wanted to do. So I turned around my training regimen, basically changed my style of shooting, and went back at it with a tenacity that I hadn't had in several years, and was able to come out on top again last year.
That's, you know, it's fascinating that, and I think everybody who achieves, you know, a level of success like that that you achieved has that moment of, okay, well, how do I motivate myself? I've already won the gold medal. Like, what's after that? Was this a mental challenge that you had to work through on your own? Was this something that you could get advice from coaches, from family or friends, or was this really, again, like the internal struggle?
It was mainly an internal struggle. I had a lot of people that were offering me advice and things like that, but nothing really hit home until I really started to pray about it, to be honest with you. That was one of my biggest things that turned my life around and my shooting career around, as well as really diving into my faith and letting God handle it. You know, that's one of the things that I've been using since last year, was just do my best and let God take care of the rest. And it's truly been a blessing, because now I don't feel like I have to go out and just have the entire world on my shoulders anymore. I'm going out there, I'm training the hardest that I've ever trained, I believe, right now. And I have a feeling that I'm confident, and I don't have to worry about where these next targets are going to come from, because I can go out there and know that it's going to happen.
Now you got the World Championships coming up. Is that the next competition for you?
Yeah, I leave ironically on September 11th, and to go down there. So it'll be an interesting flight down there. But there'll be a lot of memories, of course, from a few years ago. I guess 12 years ago now, and it's headed down there on September 11th, and looking forward to a long match. It's going to be a 3-day match, which is typical. It's a day longer than what our typical matches are. So it's getting ready for it, and I feel like I'm very prepared. It's going down and wanting to get my third World Championships.
Now, when you get back, I understand that you are also working on starting your very own shooting academy. How do you do all of this, Vincent? How are you training, getting ready to open up your own academy, and being a dad, being a husband? Do you sleep at all?
Sometimes it's hard, but it's having the shooting academy is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, because I wanted to help out kids. Now, when I was 16 years old, or 15 or 16 years old, and you asked me, I would have said that I would have never wanted to be a coach. But I've been doing a little bit more, starting about 2 years ago, and getting involved with these youth organizations, and like SCTP and 4-H programs, things like that. And I'm just having so much fun passing on the knowledge that I've learned over the 15 years of my shooting career to these new kids that are coming up. And it's phenomenal what they can soak up in just a few short hours. But I feel like if I don't do that, if I don't try to spur them along and get more people involved in the sport, then we're not going to have enough people to really make have an imposing threat, if you will, on the field when we go overseas.
You know, and it's interesting that you bring this up, Vincent. I read a story from the Bay Area in California. I think it was the NBC affiliate, and they were talking about the increase in youth competitive shooting, which is a good thing. And, of course, they found people who thought this was a bad thing. So they found a guy who head of, psychology and behavioral sciences at some college, who said kids just don't have the emotional ability to handle this. They don't really understand what they're doing when they're involved in youth shooting. They cannot, his quote is, they cannot handle and process what shooting really means. And so therefore you shouldn't get your kids involved in youth shooting. Have you ever heard anything so ridiculous?
No, I've never heard anything like that before. And it's strange to hear that because shooting is one of the safest sports in the world. We have traditionally and historically been the safest event out there, and we have less injuries than table tennis does. So to say something like that is absurd, I think. And, if they were actually to get out there and get involved and see how much shooting impacts these children, then they would see that that's definitely not the case. Because I can tell you at least a half a dozen stories of people that are struggling really bad in their lives and are involved in not so great things at their point, and possibly even drugs and things like that. They get involved in shooting, and they completely turn their lives around. One of the guys that I know is now a doctor. So he was involved in drugs. He was in a heavy metal band and things like that, and he completely turned his life around. So he's one of the few, or one of the many success stories, just the few that I know. And that's exactly what I'm trying to help these kids realize, is that they can get out of the situation that they're in and get involved with a team and become something that they never thought possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I got to say, some of the best and brightest young Americans that I've run across have been those involved, whether it's in the 4-H shooting sports program or JROTC or even just a program at their local gun club. These are young men and women who understand responsibility, and they'll tell you the benefit that they've seen in terms of their concentration, in terms of their ability to buckle down and apply themselves. They say that competitive shooting has made them better people. Absolutely. I know whenever I got truly deeply involved with the shooting, my grades went up in school because I understood what concentration truly was all about. And that my teachers could see a difference in it. I could tell a difference in it. It was just easier. There you go. Well, listen, Vincent, thank you so much for coming on the program, sir. We wish you the very best of luck at the World Championships, and hope we can talk again very soon. All right, I appreciate it. Thanks, Cam. You bet. Vincent Hancock joined us, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, part of USA Shooting.